1812 committee to come forward and say a few words. J'invite M. Brian Macdonald, député de Fredericton-Silverwood et président du comité provincial du garde de 1812, à venir nous dire quelques mots.
Thanks very much, Molly. It's a real pleasure to be here today on a beautiful fall day in Fredericton. And I want to say a few words about this project. I think Randall is going to come forward later and maybe explain a little bit of the detail. But I don't know if it's clear to all of you what exactly we're announcing here today, so I'd like to start with that. Randall, through his leadership, has begun a process of putting geocaches around New Brunswick up the route of the March of the 104th Regiment. And these, as you can see the boxes here, and I think Randall will explain in detail, but these boxes will be geographical locations that will be available for geocachers to find. And then the incentive for that we're going to reveal shortly. The point is, it's a project that connects New Brunswickers in a very real way to their history and encourages them to get outside and be active. So for both of those things, for connecting New Brunswickers to their history and encouraging New Brunswickers and others to come out and be active and enjoy all this province has to offer, I congratulate you, Randall. Thank you. I want to talk a little bit about some of the other partners in this fantastic project, and it's great to have Molly do the introductions, because Molly, as you may know, is the Executive Director of the St. John River Society. And we're joined as well by Wanda Hughes, the President of the St. John River Society. I think it's important to highlight here the work that's been done by the St. John River Society to make this project possible. They are the people that laid the groundwork, absolutely. The St. John River Society has been a real leader in celebrating our history and the St. John River, and in particular the War of 1812. And long before there was a provincial committee, the St. John River Society was out in front of this issue. And one of the things they did was they sat down with a team of historians and they decided, they got a historical version of what the March of the Route was. So it was clear to everyone what the agreed route of the march was. And that leadership early on, through the leadership of Wanda, Molly, and Peter Pacey, who's not with us today, and the others of that board, really laid the groundwork that made this possible. And that was tremendous. And that was done years in advance. And as well, as soon as this idea came forward, the St. John River Society was quick to support. And they have very limited resources, but they were very quick to the table to provide what they could, which ended up being a very large portion of the funding for this coin. So thanks to the St. John River Society. Thanks also to the New Brunswick Museum and to the Department of Tourism, Culture and History, who also provided some of the funding. And I'm here as a representative of the provincial government, but I want to say thank you to the people that can't be here, and that's Jane Fullerton and Bill Hicks. When we formed the War of 1812 committee here in New Brunswick, we knew that there was a need, because there were a lot of activities happening around the War of 1812. There was a need to provide some leadership and some coordination. It was a bit of an experiment. We weren't sure how it was going to work. And I'm really proud today of this initiative, because I think it shows how government can provide some leadership. And this is a great occasion, and it shows how different agencies can cooperate and collaborate and produce a great project with really small financial resources from the government. I mean, the total investment here from the government perspective is about $2,000. We were able to wring that out of various departments. The funding came through the New Brunswick Museum in the end. But it was a collaborative effort. But that $2,000, ladies and gentlemen, is a real force multiplier. We have now an incredible initiative, thanks to Randall's leadership, that will forever mark the route of the 104th on the ground in New Brunswick. And this, it will exist in reality. I mean, it already exists, but it'll be marked by these small boxes. But most importantly, it's marked online, and will be marked by the footprints of the geocachers that go out there in the woods in all seasons to find these geocaches. And for a small government investment, we've been able to leverage the personal initiative of Randall Hazlitt, the corporate knowledge of the St. John River Society, and as well, I think it's important to add the the York Sunbury Historical Society and the Fredericton Region Museum for their input, because they've agreed to actually administer this. So government here has a very light touch, but we've been able, I think, as a government to provide a little bit of leadership, to put people in the same room, and when you do that, good ideas tend to come out. They put people in the same small space and get them to bounce around a little bit, good ideas come out, and we provided a little bit of funding, and it was really the hard work of Randall and the small team that you assembled, those partnerships that made today happen. So I don't want to steal any more of your thunder, Randall. I know you're going to explain to us what the project is, but I think today really is a huge success because we've been able to leverage the initiative of these groups, that volunteer effort. It's been supported by the broader community, and government was able to play a small role to make it a reality. So thank you to Randall, to Molly, to Ruth, to Wanda, who's here, and all of the partners that have made this happen. Thank you very much.